Scorpio, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is going to be your weekly reading for whenever you watch this. Consider it starting now and going until a week from today, or whenever you watch it. Or maybe it's just been like the past week and this is like the middle of the week for you. Who knows? It's a weekly reading, and it's timeless. So, quick disclaimers. This is a general reading, cannot possibly resonate with everyone, so take what does resonate, leave what does not. And if none of it resonates, you can check out one of the readings for one of your other signs, or you can go check out some of the many brilliant, talented readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation this week. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, physician, therapist, counselor, financial expert, etc., and any advice that I give, or anything that sounds like advice that comes out of my mouth, is based solely on my opinion, my own experiences, my own knowledge, my interpretations of the cards, and anything that may occur to me intuitively throughout this reading. So, also, if this reading does resonate, if you enjoy my videos, and you would like to see more, please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I upload new videos in the future, more readings. And if you have any suggestions for types of readings that you'd like to see me do on my channel, like different types of pick a cards, themed readings, etc., feel free to leave that in a comment so I can see your suggestions and implement them in the future. So, now, we get started. Got all that out of the way. We're starting with an archetype card, as usual. Got a really weird thing going on with my camera setup. I'm just gonna apologize and leave it for now. So you guys got the addict. The light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So, being the first card we've got out so far, I don't know exactly what this is about yet, but for some of you guys, you may be battling an addiction. You may have an addictive personality where you just have a tendency to get stuck on different things or thought processes or substances, whatever it might be, but it seems to be relevant right now. Perhaps you're finally getting around to getting away from that addiction or breaking whatever spell something has over you, freeing yourself. You know, that really is the underlying theme behind addiction, is imprisonment and hopefully freedom. So, next card I'm going to pull is going to be from the Psychic Tarot deck, and this is just going to give us an idea of what other types of energies may be affecting you guys this week, either you directly or your situation. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus. Let's see. There we go. So, it's this funny thing that happens that where I'm sitting every time I shuffle, every single time. The card, well, at least one goes on the floor. Maybe it's a problem with my shuffling. Alright, what do we got? What are some external, outside energies affecting Scorpio? Alright, so we've got the universe, which I believe corresponds with the world card in the tarot. So this could be the completion of a cycle, the learning of a great lesson. But the major overarching theme for this card is awareness. And I think for you guys, this is going to be self-awareness or awareness of, your behaviors, any issues that you have that are getting in your way, that are affecting your life in a negative way, any addictions that you may have, becoming aware of just exactly how much of a hold something has on you, what it's rooted in, and what you have to do to make changes in your life that remove that kind of power that an addiction or something like that has over you. I'm not really a wordsmith today. I don't understand what's happening. Let's try to focus again. It is such a beautiful card, truly. It's like oneness as well as something that I get out of this. One with the universe. Maybe I'm being a little too flu-flu-y here. There we go. So now we'll go ahead and we will pull some cards from the Memento Mori deck. It's like a super extended Lenormand deck, and it's just going to give me an idea of what the main situation is that you guys are going to be dealing with this week. Again, general reading can't resonate with everybody. Hopefully it resonates with somebody. We're starting out with chiromancy. I'm guessing that has to do with palm reading. And palm reading has a lot to do with your destiny. Figuring out your purpose, remembering your plan for this life, if you believe that you plan your life before you incarnate. But in general, just trying to find yourself and find meaning in your life and what it is you're supposed to do with it. Let's see what else we've got. Alright, so we've got the dog. Focus, focus. Dog is all about a friend. A loyal, trustworthy, compassionate, and unconditionally loving friend. Now, either you are that friend to somebody else, or this is somebody who is very close to you who has that kind of love for you, who wants to see you be successful in, you know, whatever issues you're dealing with at this time, somebody who supports you, and perhaps somebody who is connected to you on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, perhaps somebody whose destiny is intertwined with your own. I'm saying that because I'm relating it back to the chiromancy card. We also have the Mort Bell. This seems to be... You could interpret it, oh my god, my words. You could interpret it as like a wake-up call, right? The ringing of the bell. Some cultures, you ring a bell to clear energy in a space. This could be a warning of some kind to you, kind of telling you to snap out of it and pay attention. Pay attention to something, because something's going on. Either something isn't right or something is about to go very right. But you need to be aware, you need to be in the moment, alright? You need to be paying attention. It's very important, and it has to do with your destiny. It has to do with your life path, your purpose, etc. I'm just going to keep moving things around until I'm satisfied with my placement, which will be never. Let's see what else we've got for you guys. One more from this deck. Okay, so we have the Tear Catcher. This has a lot to do with mourning, sadness, grief. Yes? I want it documented on video right now, and I'm leaving this in the video. I'm telling you what, just like 20 minutes ago, my office door, it opens itself, and then the bitch slams shut. By itself. By itself. Sit on that. Now I'm sitting here, I'm talking about mourning and grief and catching tears, and then somebody knocks on my door. And I'll tell you what, nobody's there. My husband's downstairs and my kid is asleep. At least she better still be. The dogs don't knock on the door. They don't have knuckles to knock with. And I'm seeing shit out of the corner of my eyes. If anybody else can relate to this, this is kind of like a new development just tonight. In the middle of your reading, I'm not blaming you. It's just, I'm putting it out there that this is all kind of happening while I'm doing the Scorpio reading. So I'm just gonna not freak out and not get spooked and try not to be too much more interrupted. Sorry about that, guys. I just want it to be on the record that spooky shit is happening in my office tonight. Alright. I'll shut up. Now we're going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards too, and I'm going to rearrange again. We're going to pull some tarot cards, and we're going to clarify each of these 4 cards here. Get a little more information, get a little more detail for you guys. A little more to walk away from, or to walk away with, or from, whatever. Hey, maybe there's something you guys got to walk away from in your life. That could be it too. This wake-up call, right, could tie into that addiction, or that quality of the addict, right? Something that you keep going back to that's not good for you, that you need to just finally walk away from. Because it's not aligned with your destiny. It's not aligned with your greater purpose. And it's just time to remove it from your life. Which I think will become a lot easier once you gain this awareness here, right? Once things start to click, once you hear that bell. All right, let's clarify the Chiromancy card. All right, so to clarify the Chiromancy card, we have the Ten of Water, rejuvenation, fulfillment, and marriage. Corresponding with the Ten of Cups in the traditional tarot, this is about family, a happy, complete, and fulfilled family dynamic. So there may be something very big or very important going on in your family at this time, or some kind of family-related issue that's arising, or yeah, something like that. Something that is going on that is predestined. This all was meant to go down. It was meant to happen. If you've just met somebody, then you were meant to meet and to be together, right? In palmistry, you've got the marriage line. Perhaps you've met somebody and you're meant to marry. That's a possibility. I'm going to go ahead and double clarify that, though. See if we can get a little more information on that before I go around telling people that you're about to get married. That doesn't seem very fair if it's not true. Although, again, general reading can't resonate with everybody. Let's clarify this Ten of Water, please. Because this could also just be stability and happiness within the family, right? That everything that you've dealt with, everything that you have experienced up until this point had to occur in order for you to find some kind of equilibrium within the family, or just some kind of emotional equilibrium within yourself. All right, so we have the Eight of Fire in reverse. Dedication, oath, and symbol, but again in reverse. So the way I'm kind of reading that is that there may have been something done as a symbol of love or dedication that was either misunderstood, wrongly interpreted, or ill-informed in some way, because that is in reverse. The Eight of Fire corresponds to the Eight of Wands in the traditional tarot, which has a lot to do with movement and momentum. So with it being in reverse, there could be some kind of stuck energy as well. There could be some kind of sticking point within the family or in a relationship that you have. And this would be a well-developed relationship. This doesn't necessarily look to me to be a new relationship because it is the Ten of Water. That something done or something said that was meant, that had the best of intention, actually caused an issue somehow. Or perhaps somebody's just not doing a good job of showing dedication to the family as well, that there could be an issue arising in the family due to somebody else not showing that they're dedicated to the stability and the happiness of the family unit. I could get that as well. And that could make sense going back to that addict card again, if there is some kind of behavior that is disruptive to the people around you, or if this is someone you know who has this addictive behavior, perhaps their behavior is disruptive to you and your family, and it's like you're all stuck. You're stuck in a mess. You're stuck in almost like a stasis where things aren't really progressing, things aren't getting better. They may not be getting worse, but it seems like, going back to that Chiromancy card for a second, this idea of destiny and fate, and then with the Ten of Water, fulfillment and completion, like there's something that cannot be fulfilled or something that cannot be completed until whatever has gotten everybody stuck has been corrected, or until an individual takes the step to remove whatever this issue is from their lives, so that they can fully dedicate their energy, their time, their love to the family, the marriage, the relationship, etc. So now I'm going to go ahead and clarify the dog. We're the 5 of fire. Intentions, strategy, conflict. Conflict's a big one with number 5 in general. 5 of Wands specifically. Could be a fight, a misunderstanding, an argument. Could be on the lighter end of the spectrum. It could just be some friendly competition. But I feel like there's some kind of conflict with someone that is very close to you, somebody that you care about, a very good friend, or somebody who is very, someone who loves you unconditionally, somebody who is loyal to you. There's this conflict here. Let's clarify that again and find out what this conflict is about. What is the conflict with this loyal, trustworthy friend? All right, we've got the 3 of fire. A lot of fire in this reading. Expression, confidence, and communication. So some kind of conflict arising out of bad communication. That's kind of what I'm getting. Or a lack of communication. Perhaps there are feelings that are not being expressed that need to be. And that's potentially part of what's keeping the situation in that stuck position where nothing can move forward, because people are not happy, but they're not expressing themselves to each other in a full and clear way. Okay, perhaps somebody's hinting at something, or there's like this passive, muddled form of communication that is occurring that is just not cutting it. It's not doing the job. There's not a clear flow of expression from somebody to another, or from both of you or all of you involved, right? You're just not communicating how you're feeling to each other. You're not being open. And so it's creating some kind of problem that could potentially be completely unnecessary if everyone would just say how they felt and what they were thinking and air out their differences and talk it out. This seems to be what's necessary here, for sure, is some clear and concise, open communication. Granted, it's easier said than done, but if I'm just looking at the cards here, it seems to be really important right now, this clear communication. So let's clarify the bell now, this wake-up call. What is this about? So I'm trying to get your attention. Trying to make you aware of something. We've got the Page of Air. Disposition, tendencies, governing principles. Perspective would be another good word for this. There needs to be a shift in somebody's perspective, or a shift in somebody's governing principles. Your personal belief system and the decisions that you make based on those beliefs. There's something that you need to pay attention to in that, on that spectrum. Okay? There could be an issue with... Actually, I feel like this does tie back into the addict card very much, because that addictive personality trait is a tendency, or it has to do with tendencies. So, if this bell is ringing to draw your attention to your tendencies that may be causing you problems and hurting you in the long run, then it's time for some self-reflection, an evaluation of what your tendencies are and the belief system that lies beneath those tendencies, the root, the cause. Why do you do these things? It may be something that you're not necessarily 100% conscious of, something that you've done for a long time, and it didn't create issues until it did, and it is now. And that's why your attention is being drawn to it. And if you feel like there's something about your lifestyle, or something about the way that you do, or the way that you think, that is being brought up a lot in conversations with people, or in general, in media around you, then maybe that's the universe's way of saying, hey, hello, we need to talk about this. We need to take care of this. We need to fix this now. This thing that you do, this idea that you have, this principle that you live by, is not aligned with who you are. It's not aligned with your greater purpose, and it's not aligned with you living a happy, healthy, cohesive, stable life. It's not aligned with your growth. Because I'm clarifying everything else twice, I'll clarify that again as well. Just get one more card for that bell. Those tendencies. What else we got? Alright, we got the 8 of water. Hiding from judgment, insecurity. And that could be why you have trouble confronting any negative qualities that you may have, any issues that you may have, any addictions, any harmful tendencies, any self-destructive tendencies, okay? Because you are afraid of that judgment. And I think that the worst judgment you're afraid of is judgment from yourself, and so this is an issue that you ignore, because you know that you have higher standards than that, and you expect more of yourself, as well as the people around you. That's a possibility for some of you guys. It's also possible that truly what you fear is judgment from others. Perhaps you don't want to admit that something's wrong, or that perhaps you're not okay in some part of your life, because you don't want to be judged by somebody else. You don't want to be judged by people that you look up to, people that you care about. You want them to look up to you. You want them to look at you and see someone who is whole and has it together and has no issues. You certainly don't want to shine light on any of your insecurities. But the universe is doing that to you regardless. It's shining a light on those insecurities, shining a light on those negative tendencies, because they hurt you and they hinder your forward movement. And it has nothing to do with judgment. And anybody who truly loves you unconditionally will not judge you, will not hold this part of your journey against you, because that's all it is. This is a part of your journey. This is a part of your path. Everything that you've experienced up until this point was something that you needed to experience to learn whatever important lessons you needed to learn in this lifetime. And anyone who loves you unconditionally will see that, will understand that, will forgive you for being a human being, and will continue to love you without judgment. Whoever this dog is referring to, this is somebody who just wants to see you healthy and happy and balanced. It's just someone who wants you to be okay. And that's where that conflict arises, is because perhaps they see that you're not okay. And they don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to communicate with you. You don't know how to communicate with them. So there's all these mixed messages, people drawing conclusions, assumptions being made. And a lot of it seems to be, and forgive me, I'm not judging anybody, but for some of you guys, this does seem to be deflection on your part. Because you know there's an issue too. And you're still in that denial stage, denying the problem. And that causes even more conflict, and it hurts the people who love you, because all they want is to see you get better, and you're actively fighting that. So if this resonates with you, if you're feeling that, no judgment, no hate towards you. This is a normal process that millions of people go through all the time. But Spirit just wants you to be aware of it. It wants you to kind of own up to your shit. And recognize that you're worth being happy, you're worth being healthy. And that the people in your life who are shining light on your issues right now are only doing it out of unconditional love for you. And they only want you to get better. And if there is this imbalance or disharmony within your family at this time, perhaps it's time to ask yourself what you could possibly change to restore that balance. What are you not facing that you need to address to restore the harmony in your life, in your relationships, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, etc.? Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's clarify the tear catcher. This mourning, this grief. I have a feeling that this could be something that lies at the root of the addiction or the negative tendencies. Perhaps this is what's buried under all of it. Yeah, alright. We got the Chariot. On this card it says mediation, diplomacy, achieving balance. But the chariot also refers to good fucking God. Cannot speak. I apologize. The Chariot is all about what drives you. You know? What pushes you forward? What drives your behavior? What drives your thought patterns? What motivates you? What sways your thinking? Grief. Grief and pain loss of some kind, sadness. It's a lot of heaviness in the heart. And it either drives you or it's something that drives with you everywhere you go. You're constantly carrying it. And so you've developed these unhealthy coping mechanisms to bury it, or to silence it, or to just distract from it for a moment. But you can only do that for so long. It doesn't work forever. Eventually you have to deal with the sadness. You have to do more than just cope. You have to process and accept. I say that a lot in all my readings. It's just because it's the truth. That's it. That's all there is to it. You have to process and you have to accept so that you can move on. And recognize that you are supported by people who love you. You have a strong, happy family ready to help you, support you. You are supported. You are supported and loved and not judged by anybody but yourself. But if you could perhaps recognize that a lot of your actions or your thought patterns are a reflection of the pain you hold within you, then perhaps you could forgive yourself a little bit easier. Perhaps you could judge yourself a little bit less, you know? Try putting someone else in your shoes and then trying to judge them as much as you judge yourself. I bet you couldn't. And maybe if you can see it from that light, maybe it'd be a little bit easier for you to face your demons, face your shadow, face your problems, and take them head on and start making healthy changes to take you closer to happiness and stability, right? Let's clarify the Chariot now, and we'll move on to some oracle cards. All right, we've got the Two of Air. It says end of naivety. I'm sure I said that right. Truth, revelation. The tear catcher, all right? Awareness of the cause of your issues here this morning, this grief. Understanding of this pain that you've been carrying for so long, that you've forgotten that it's there, perhaps. That you've distracted from it for so long, that you've effectively pushed it out of your mind. Bringing that into your awareness again. Being in it, feeling it, raw and real, in real time. So that you can understand it, just wallow in it for a minute. Really get to understand it so that you can process it. Don't try to just get over it. That's not going to work either. I bet that's the first thing you tried. Didn't work then, did it? So be in it. Just be in it and feel it. And allow yourself to feel that pain. Allow yourself to get mad about it. Allow yourself to get sad about it. Until something clicks in your head. Or until you finally realize that you no longer want to be sad. Until you're able to accept that this is just how it is. If it's something that happened in the past, it's done. It's done. It happened. And similar things have probably happened to somebody else. But then you're able to reconcile and say, well, I have a good life now. And even though this happened to me in the past, you know, it's taught me this and that. It's really shown me how to appreciate this better. It's given me more understanding about that issue. And it's brought me closer to the people that I love. And it's helped me to know myself better. And so I accept this as my path. I accept that this is how the universe has taught me this lesson in this life. I no longer have to carry this pain with me anymore. I can let it go. I can release it back to the universe. Be grateful for the understanding that I have attained at this point and start to move forward. Start to heal, right? Healing yourself. Bringing yourself back together. Fixing relationships or other connections. Fixing yourself. Developing a healthier perspective on life and on the self. Honestly, I think a lot of this does have to do with how you see yourself. Okay, so now we're going to pull some oracle cards. This is just going to be any additional insight or advice from Spirit. I know I've already talked so much. I'm just going to talk at you a little more. Not to you, at you, because you can't talk back. So that's how that works, right? Let's see here. Cards I'm going to pull are from the Terra deck. It's an animal deck that I found on Etsy. If you are interested in any of the decks that I use in my readings, I link them down in the description. Several of them are from independent artists, and I definitely encourage anyone who can and wants to go support them, patronize their shops, buy their decks or their art, because it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay, what do we got? What do we got that can be helpful for Scorpio? Alright, we've got the walrus. Vulnerability. I think that this has a lot to do with allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Okay? I think that's what that card is telling you. I think that avoiding your own vulnerability is what's gotten you into a bit of a pickle. And that it's time to allow yourself to be vulnerable by opening your heart and expressing your feelings and hearing other people's feelings, allowing other people to express how they feel, and just working through it. It does require opening of the heart, which does imply a level of vulnerability. But it can be a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of strength in allowing yourself to be vulnerable. I'm going to pull 1 or 2 or 3 more of these. I don't know. I just go by how it feels, honestly. All right, we have the sea turtle, direction. The thing about the sea turtle is that they kind of just go with the flow of the natural currents in the ocean. Okay, so maybe Spirit is telling you to go with the flow that they are establishing by sending you these messages, showing you these signs, setting up situations to help you deal with things that you need to deal with. Spirit's pointing the way, and it's being pretty obvious about it. So it's time to wake up and shape up, right? Follow that direction so that it can lead you to a better place. I think I'll pull 1 more of these. Oh, I love this. I love this. The tardigrade. The water bear. Not the cutest creature. Resiliency. These things can survive anywhere through anything. They're extremophiles. They can survive in the, quote, vacuum of space. Quote, unquote, vacuum. I mean, some people say it's not a vacuum anymore, but anyway, they can survive anywhere. And basically indefinitely as well. Like, they don't seem to age. And I think that this is just Spirit's way of affirming for you that you're going to be okay, that you can survive this process, that everything's going to come together, that healing can take place, and forward movement can be made, that things can be salvaged if there's been damage to relationships, or even a living situation of some kind, that can be fixed. It can be salvaged. It can be saved. Now I'm just saying a bunch of words that mean the same thing. You get what I'm trying to say, I hope. Everything is going to be alright. As long as you follow this direction, open up your heart, allow yourself to be vulnerable, express how you're feeling, tackle your addictions, and move forward. Easy as pie. Am I right? No, I'm not. I know. It's not easy. But if it were easy, would it be worth it? That's my question. Okay, switching decks. Let's see what else we've got. Couple cards came out at the same time. We have Path. Okay, this ties into that Direction card. It ties into the Chiromancy card. It ties into the Universe card. It really ties into like the whole reading, really. Path. This is about you getting back on your path. Following the path that has been set out for you by the universe, or even by you before birth, if you believe that, which I do, so that's why I say it. And then we have Mystery. There we go. Some kind of mystery for you to solve. Perhaps it's time to allow yourself to inquire about the mysteries of the universe. Okay, open up your mind to some more spiritual, metaphysical, mysterious, anomalous, phenomenal topics. To shift your focus from the worldly day-to-day to larger, more mystical concepts. Maybe. We also have destruction. And this makes perfect sense as well. That there are these old ways of thinking and old ways of being that have to be destroyed in order for you to move forward, in order for you to make progress and become the person that you are truly meant to be, to live the life that has been set up for you to live, to express your gifts and your talents as they were given to you. There must be this destruction of your old way of thinking, your old way of behaving, a lifestyle, an indoctrination, a belief system has to be completely removed so that you can reprogram yourself to be a healthier, more whole human being and to be more conscious of yourself and, the world you live in. We have the new moon, which is a time for setting intentions, making plans, renewal, rebirth, the beginning of a new cycle. All things symbolized by the new moon, right? This is what follows the destruction. Literally came out right after destruction. Because the destruction of old ways and old habits makes way for this new beginning to occur in your life, this refreshing new start. And then we have the star. You are the star here. With all this light to shine on the world and the people that surround you. And you dim that light by not being aligned with your true self and your true purpose. You dim that light. And it doesn't benefit you and it doesn't benefit anybody else. So it's all about getting out of that, shining your light, recognizing that you are very important, very special, that you have an important job to do on this earth, and that requires you being your best self. The star is also this almost like a universal symbol of direction. Again, going back to that sea turtle for a second. The star guides you home, right? The North Star or whatever, one of those stars. Or perhaps in this case, the star is reminding you to be hopeful, to be inspired for greater things, for continual growth and development. A lot of meanings to the star. Star also lives in cycles to connect back to that new moon. This is a part in your cycle, in your life, in your journey where you get to shine, to cast off the shadow and the parts of yourself that no longer serve you, by acknowledging them and accepting them and then letting them go. And that's what reveals your light. Alright, so we'll do 3 more cards. We'll do 3 more. I just feel like if this reading started with a haunting, then I should just go all out. That's where I'm at. Okay, so we actually have 2, so that means 4 more. Pandora's Gift. I think this has a lot to do with your gifts that you have deep within yourself already, that you've had your whole life. You're getting to a point now where you're going to be able to recognize and access these gifts, utilize these gifts to help yourself and to help others, to make this world a better place, right? This starts with self-work and self-healing, but truly your purpose extends so far beyond yourself. Right? Until you face this addiction or these issues, whatever, you're stuck in phase 1. But making it through this healing process will reveal that gift to you. You will understand exactly who you are, what you have, and what you can do with it, how powerful you truly are, and why it is so important that you not restrict yourself with bad habits or unhealthy belief systems. We also have faith in the process. And this is just a message for you to have faith in the process. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. That everything that's happening at this point in time is happening for a reason. And that reason is to benefit you, to better your life, to heal you. It is very important that you recognize that. That things happen for you, not to you, right? For your enlightenment, for your growth. Okay, so I got 2 out of this deck again. We have time to go. Okay, time to move forward. Time to leave the old you, the old life behind. Pass through that doorway, enter a better future. And then we have never-ending story. This can be interpreted a lot of ways. A lot of ways. I think it's fun though. I like to look at the numbers sometimes. First of all, you got 45 here, and then you got 45 here as well. And then 45 equals 9, and then 37 equals 10. I think that this just has to do with like this weird relationship that we have with finality and permanence in our lives. And how that's expressed through these cycles that we go through in our development, through multiple lifetimes. Just reminding you that everything you're going through now is just a cycle. One little cycle that exists within a greater cycle, which exists within an even greater cycle. I think too that it's kind of a message that even though this is an ending, if you move forward, if you deal with these issues, then you are bringing about an ending in your life. An ending to an old way of living, an old way of being. But it's also the beginning of a new way of being. So that's the never-ending part of your story, is that you're simply starting the next chapter. You're not losing yourself or anything of that nature. But I can see a negative side to that card as well, where, if you don't face these habits or addictions or whatever it is that you need to confront and deal with, if you don't, then you're going to keep running into the same problems and the same issues over and over again. That you will get stuck in a negative cycle, and that the only way out is through doing the hard work of acknowledging, processing, and healing. That is the only way out of it. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in a loop, and it's going to suck, and it's not going to allow you progress. So, just a little positive note there. One more card, and then I will free you. Okay, so last card we have is security. I think it's interesting that this one is coming out because earlier there was a card concerning insecurity that came out. I think that this here is confirmation that through this healing process you will realize a sense of your own security within yourself, within your relationships, within your family dynamic, that the healing process will not just bring you new opportunities, it won't just bring you these great internal changes, but also it will bring security to you and your family. Security, stability, and balance. That's the reward of the hard work, and it is well worth it. It's 3 little words, but it's so very big and important. A great achievement to be able to reach that security, stability, and balance. I think this is also Spirit's way of telling you that as it guides you, it also protects you, loves you, and is leading you towards success in your personal development and in other parts of your life as well. Right? Have faith in the process, that everything's going to be all right. It's just going to be kind of tough for a minute. But even then, it's only for a minute, really, truly. If a short moment of discomfort in terms of facing your issues, if that's all that stands in the way between you and happiness and security, why not? If that's the only thing standing in the way between you and the realization of your gifts, your talents, what you have to offer to the world, if it's what stands in between you and finally realizing the true meaning of your life, why not? Right? Why not? So there's a little bit to think about for you guys. I will stop here before I get too much more ahead of myself. I do want to thank you guys for joining me. If you stuck with me this long, my lord, you deserve a gold star. I don't have any though. Hopefully this didn't come out as judgy or negative in any way. Everything I say with love. No judgment whatsoever. I wish the best for you guys. And I believe truly in my heart that you're going to be alright. And the Spirit's looking out for you. And it's time that you look out for you too. So with love and light and kindness and all of that jazz. And thank you guys again for joining me. If it resonated, if you liked it, like it, subscribe it, whatever. And until next time, you guys take care of yourselves.